Rejection is more powerful than you think. This comes from a recent study that studied how rejection affects us. Now, you may have been through a bad breakup or have gotten fired and then felt something like, well, people say, oh, it was like a gut punch, or I felt like I was being stabbed in the heart. Most people have not been stabbed in the heart. Some of us have been gut punched.
Most people have not been gut punched. They are
It could happen. It could happen. But anyway, they're saying like they feel that pain, and now research is backing that up, saying that the feelings of rejection affect us in several different ways, including physical pain. The way this study worked was that researchers, this is going to sound silly, researchers set up a...
Buckle up, everybody. This is going to sound silly.
They set up a waiting room for a proposed experiment, but the experiment was in the waiting room. So there were two researchers in plain clothes, and one person being studied. What they would do is throw the ball around to each other, playing catch. So they, one person would throw to person B would throw back to A would throw to C would throw back to B, and then the two researchers would stop including the subject, in the game of catch. Now you may think, oh, that's stupid. Who cares if some guy I don't know doesn't want to play catch with me? But they found that it did affect him in his brain.
Even the slightest amount of rejection, something you shouldn't care about, strangers playing with a ball in a waiting room while you're waiting for something, shouldn't matter to you, but it does.
It does matter, and it affects us more than we might think it does. So it was related to plummeting feelings of self-esteem and self-worth, and it was just, it was strange to me that it affected the subject this much, but it did. And then I thought, well, that makes sense. I mean, I don't feel good when I'm rejected. Nobody does. Like, for instance, there's a coworker here who routinely, purposely excludes me from outings. And at first I was like, fuck that guy. I know how to be unpopular. I don't care. Then I was like, why doesn't he like me? So it's just like, I feel like this validates those feelings. I mean, you've felt pain before from rejection, right?
I'm going to tell Jank he's got to stop doing that.
Yeah.
You're part of this team.
It's not Jank.
You're part of this team. Have I ever felt rejection? Oh, yeah, sure.
Of course you have.
You know, girls have broken up with me, and
it hurts.
I've been let go from a job. That hurt.
I have too. I know that feel, bro.
Yeah.
There we go.
To me, though, and the YouTube comment section will attest to this, I am not a smart man, but I think I knew enough that emotional pain obviously can be felt physically. You know, any kind of physical pain that you have, like if someone does stab you, that sends a nerve response to your brain, which interprets that, and that's how you feel pain. So definitely anything that happens in the brain, like rejection, like any kind of emotional stimulus, can make you feel actual pain.
The question here is,
because it all happens in the brain. I didn't think
definitely
that was
does.
up for debate.
Yeah. But I'm going to go a little bit further as to why rejection might hurt than other emotional pain, like sadness or anger.
Because there is a physical component of depression.
Well, it's also...
There is physical aches and pains associated with emotional depression.
It relates to evolutionary. It's evolutionary.
Okay.
And in the past, when humans are social creatures. That's a fact. So when we were in olden times in tribes, being ostracized from our tribe would often mean death. You'd be cut off from your food. You'd be cut off from shelter. You'd be cut off from sexual mates. And that would mean, being excluded would mean that you would almost certainly die on your own. So this trigger, this feeling that we have, it's kind of the beginnings of a warning sign within ourselves to, hey, maybe fix the situation so we don't die.
So when someone tells you, oh, don't be so sad, it's not the end of the world, your body is telling you, this is the end of the world! I've been fired, I've been cut off from future mates.
I'm going to be hungry, there will be no mates, and rain will fall on my head. And that's why you feel that way.
Turns out my body's just as stupid as my brain. Get your act together, body.